Hello everybody, welcome back to my workshop, welcome back to my garage. What we're going to be doing in today's video is just kind of wrapping up what we've got so far with guitar number 1 from my scratch build. And we'll be covering all that. So what I've got so far is the neck is complete. I still have some carving in the heel joint once I glue it into the guitar to kind of round the heel pocket all together. But the neck is contoured down to a 60s profile. Les Paul 60s profile, fingerboard, flame maple fingerboard, radius to 12-inch radius. It's got fret markers installed as well as the peg head veneer installed. Tuner holes are installed, and this thing is going to be ready to get some frets on it very soon, and that'll be in a later video. For the body, very nice blistered maple. It's kind of a combination between quilt and flame maple on the top. I do have the neck pocket routed. I do have the neck pickup routed as well as the bridge pickup, control holes drilled, and the control cavity routed with the cover access routed on it as well. So we're going to be wrapping up the video, getting to that point. As we move forward, the next thing that's going to be happening is this neck will get fretted along with guitar number 2. I want to get both the necks to about the same point so I can just do all the fretting at once. So that's what's going to be in this video dealing with guitar number 1, and there'll be a separate video dealing with some stuff on guitar number 2 as we roll through this. Thank you very much for tuning in. Let's get rolling. What we're going to do now is we're going to start working on the body, routing out the neck pocket, routing out the control cavities, routing out the pickups. So what I've got is I've done a template for my neck pocket on this. I've went ahead and test fitted it against the template that I made for the neck. Everything matches up good there. I've also put the neck in it that I've currently made for this guitar, and it's very, very snug, which is exactly what I want it to be, because that way when I can route it out on the body and then I can fine tune it from there and actually adjust it right down to the neck shape before I go to glue it in. The reason why is you don't want it super tight before you apply glue, because the glue swells a little bit, causes the wood to swell up a little bit. And if you're super tight on the sides before you glue it, all you're going to do is press the glue down to the bottom of the joint, and you're not going to get a really good glue joint on the side. So you want it snug, but you don't want it super tight, and that way when the glue goes on and that wood starts to swell, that'll help lock those fibers together on that. So what we're going to be doing now, like I said, is we're going to get this template installed onto the body. I've got my center line here on the body drawn in, and I've tentatively traced out where the neck pocket's going to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the template super glued with masking tape onto the body blank. We're going to go ahead and use a Forstner bit to route out the majority of the wood for that neck pocket, not going quite as deep as what I want it to be. That way I can use the router to clean everything up and actually set the correct depth to where the neck fits down into the neck pocket at the correct depth where I want it to go. Okay, here I'm just some masking tape on the body itself, and then masking tape on the corresponding spots on the template. And then just lay down a bead of super glue on that and line the template up, center line on the template with the center line on the body. Here all I'm doing is I'm using a Forstner bit, like I said, to take out a lot of the material in that neck pocket. That way I don't have as much to route. I'm not going to the full depth of what the neck will eventually be, because I want to fine tune that using the router. But the Forstner bit does an excellent job of removing a lot of wood in a hurry off of that. Here what I'm doing is just, again, routing that out, following the template. And I'll make several passes with this, adjusting the router a little bit deeper each time. And then I also use a set of calipers to measure to make sure I get the neck pocket to the correct depth. So I've got the neck pocket all complete. Routed it down, then took chisels and right in the corners to square off the corners. And then the route was just a little small. I intended it to be that way, and that way I just used a sanding block and some chisels to fine-tune the edges to get a good neck fit. And there we have it. Neck fits in there pretty good. Once it's clamped, there'll be no gap as far as clamping that down, so that'll be good. Next thing to do here is I've got to cut this portion out for the pickup and then route the pickups. I've got the bridge location marked on the body, so I'll be able to kind of set the bridge on there approximately where it's going to be and make sure I get the pickup route for the bridge pickup in the right place as well. But it's coming along pretty nice. Here I'm getting ready to route the neck pickup location. I'm using the StewMac humbucker routing template. Again, using masking tape and super glue to hold that down. And then I just route out the excess. This was very quick because a lot of that material had already been removed as part of the neck pocket. And again, I make several passes here, going a little bit deeper each time to make sure I get to the right depth. Here I'm just getting ready to do the bridge. Same thing, using this StewMac routing template, some masking tape and super glue to hold down the template. And with this one, I am going to take it to the drill press and use a Forstner bit to route out a lot of the material. And then again, I'll make several passes with the router, going a little bit deeper each time until I get to the correct depth. And I am using a set of calipers just to measure the distance and the depth that I'm routing into the body. Here I'm just marking the location for the control holes. I'll drill these with the 1/8 drill bit all the way through, and then I drill them to size for the volume and the tone. I'm using a 3/8 inch drill bit on those. Not going all the way through, but going down enough to where I know when I do my cavity on the back that the holes are going to line up. And then the switch hole is a 1/2 inch hole. What I've done here is I'm marking the center line, and then I'm going to measure how far it is from side to side off the center line of each of the control pots. And then I'll measure from the volume and the tone pots, the center of those, how far it is from the center of the pot to the edge, leading edge and trailing edge of the control cavity. Then I'm going to hog out the excess material, not going all the way down through to the point of the depth of the cavity, but pretty close to it. And then I'm just using some scrap wood that I have. I know the edge is straight, so I'm just using masking tape and super glue, and I'm basically making a template here. This is just some MDF that I had left over from when I made the templates originally. And here I'm just using a straight cutting bit with the bearing on it, going along to take that material out. I did have to go much deeper into the body here, so you'll see that I've removed the template and I'm using the edge now of the cavity itself as the guide to go the rest of the way down. I actually went all the way to the maple cap because the maple cap was so thick on this that the switch wouldn't go through until I got all the way down. And here I am, I've made a template and I'm just routing the outside of the control cavity for the access cover. I decided to just do a traditional cover on this, but I am going to use magnets to hold it down. Here I'm just drilling between the neck pickup pocket and the bridge pickup pocket so I can thread the wires through from the neck pickup. And then from the bridge pickup down into the control cavity so I can thread the wires into there. Here I'm drilling the holes for the input jack. Started out with the 1/8 inch bit and then I went to the 1/2 inch bit, and I'll enlarge it later. All right, that pretty much wraps up this video. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you like what I'm doing, please click like and subscribe. I am trying to grow the channel as best I can. Also, please leave comments down below if there's something you'd like to see done differently, if there's something you'd like to see added, if there's something I maybe could do better. I am still in a learning process with a lot of this, so I am looking at ways to improve my process moving forward. But again, thank you very much for joining. Take care and have a great day.